You got to grow. You can't hang out with everybody you've been hanging out with to go to the next level. You can't do everything you used to do. If you do that, you'll never grow.
Some of you are taking too much time trying to convince people to love you that do not matter. Some of you are taking way too much time tolerating and trying to get people engaged that don't matter, that don't care, that are never ever going to help you get into your destiny.
You're trying to impress someone that's never going to be impressed. No matter what you do, it's not going to be good enough. Your job is not to change people's mind. Your job is to run your race. Don't get your value from people, get your value from God. Anytime we're trying to prove something, the root cause is insecurity. Your value should come from who you are and not what you do and not what you have. If not, there will always be a voice saying, you don't measure up. You need to be stronger, skinnier, taller, wealthier, more talented, a better mother. It's very freeing when you understand you have nothing to prove. You don't have to prove to others that you're good enough. You don't have to keep up with other people. If you're getting your value on how you measure up to your peers, am I as talented as my coworker? Am I as successful as my cousin? Then you'll live in a proving mode, working harder, trying to impress. That's a never-ending cycle. Get off that treadmill. You have nothing to prove. You don't have to be better than your neighbor, more talented than your friend, skinnier than your cousin. That's not your race. You're not competing with them. You're competing with yourself. Be the best you that you can be. Living to impress people will keep you from your destiny. That's time and energy that you need for your dreams, for your goals. You may impress people. You may win their approval. They compliment you. Man, you look great today. You sure are successful. Praise from people just feeds our ego. We should live to impress God. He controls the universe. Promotion is not going to come from that person you impress. Proving to your friend that you're talented, you're successful, may make you feel good, but they don't open doors. They don't part Red Seas. They don't line up favor, divine connections. Instead of impressing people, we should spend our time impressing God. When you're secure in who God made you to be, you don't feel less than because you can't do what somebody else does. God has given us different gifts. You have to get your value from who you are and not what you do. Otherwise, you spend your whole life competing with others, trying to prove your importance, trying to convince them to be for you. Look at the car I drive. Look at the business I built. Look at my position. Look how great a shape I'm in. That's all good, but it's superficial. If it changes, then your self-worth will change.
I felt like saying to you this week, if somebody can walk away from your life, let them walk away. You shouldn't have to convince anybody to love you. If they can walk, let them go. If they leave you, it means they're not attached to your future. We spend so much time wasting energy because we're so upset about being rejected by people. Like, how many you know, like the reason why they were getting upset, the reason why they were getting irritated was because they were jealous of what was on his life. What if I told you that some of the rejection you have been facing in your life, it's because people are jealous of what's on your life? What if I told you that the rejection is simply an indication that you got favor on your life? God is getting ready to do something in your life. You just got to understand there's more to know.
Move on. Straight up, move on. Forget them. They are lying and they are untrustworthy. So, move on.
I had to leave my family. My family didn't get it. My family didn't get it. You know, they thought, Steve, you're going to go tell jokes. That's stupid. You can't make a living telling jokes. Now, any idea how much I've made telling jokes? So I had to let my family go. It was a time when my family wasn't even talking to me. Stupid. Quit your job, leave your family, pursue your dreams. My family wasn't supporting it. I got to cut my family loose. It's okay. Oh, they all love me now. because I help all of them. That's why I was able to walk away, because I saw more. You cannot see the same and see more at the same time. You're either going to see more or you just want to see the same. So you'll know when it's time to walk away from people. And some people you need to walk away from, because some people is just your friends as long as you down here with them. But the moment you go there, they start talking about you. That's because they wasn't your friends no way. Some people is sometimes it's good. You have to let them go. They're not going to get it.
Too often, we're trying to get our worth out of what we do, how well we perform. Am I a good enough mother? Am I talented enough, strong enough, successful enough? We think if we work harder, outperform our coworker, outdress our friend, outdrive our neighbor, then we'll feel good about ourselves. We live in this proving mode with this need to impress. The problem is we're getting our value from the wrong place. If you don't know who you are, a child of the Most High God, then you'll spend your energy trying to get other people to validate you. But when you're secure in who God made you to be, when you're comfortable with your gifts, you're content with your looks, you're happy with your personality, then you don't go around competing with others, jealous of a friend that's more talented, living to impress that cousin that's more attractive. You know you're one of a kind, a masterpiece made in the image of God. When you know who you are, you won't live in this proving mode, trying to impress people, getting your value out of what they think. Do they accept me? Do they compliment me? Do they approve me? If not, let me work harder. Let me prove to them that I'm good enough. No, you don't need their applause. Them validating you is not going to move you toward your destiny. Them cheering you on is nice, but if you're getting your worth out of that, if they quit doing it, then you'll feel devalued, not good enough. You'll have to work harder, do more to impress them. It's a treadmill. You're doing all this work, but not going anywhere. Take the pressure off. You have nothing to prove. Your destiny is not contingent on them liking you. Their approval is not keeping you from your purpose. It's a distraction. You're spending time and energy trying to impress, outperform, to show them that you're good enough, when in fact, you're already good enough. You've already been approved. God created you in His own image. Now run your race. They may be more talented. Celebrate them. You're not competing with them. You don't have to prove to them that you're talented too. You have gifts that they don't have. Be confident in who God made you to be.
When people can walk away from you, let them walk, because your destiny is not tied to the person who left.
I wonder how many times we're trying to prove something and the person is not even paying attention. Trying to impress people that don't care. Competing with someone that doesn't even know we're competing. And yes, it's good to have goals. It's good to have people that challenge us, inspire us to go further. But we're not going to be blessed if our motives are not pure. When we're trying to prove to people, to feed our ego, to pay them back, to show them how great we are, or to make up for our lack of self-worth, that's a dead-end street. Let God fight your battles. Let Him promote you. Let Him vindicate you. His favor is not so we can prove that we're talented, prove that we're as good as someone else. It's to fulfill our assignment. It's to advance the kingdom. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you competing with? How much energy are you spending trying to feel good enough, talented enough, smart enough, worthy enough? Try a different approach. Come out from under that pressure, striving, working. You have nothing to prove. What people think about you doesn't determine your destiny. Accomplishing more is nice, but it's not going to make you more valuable. Your income may increase, but your value is not going to increase. Don't get baited into being competitive, trying to outperform, thinking that's going to give you more worth. Run your race. Stay focused on what you're called to do. Don't live for people's applause. Live for God's applause.
I used to belong to the 90% who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. Guess how many people have a library card? Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life in any value amount you want. By the way, how much is a library card in Texas? Free. Here's what free is. Easy. I mean, it can't be any easier than free. Somebody says, well, would you bring it by? No. Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life spiritually, socially, personally, economically, and every other way. Teach you how to be rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy, influential. How many people have a library card? Answer, 3%. 95, 97% couldn't be bothered. Guy specializes in happy hour, but he doesn't have a card. And now readily and quickly blames the government and blames his company and blames policy and blames the pay scale. When if he only knew, if he joined the 3%, here's my advice to you today. Walk away from the 97%. Don't talk like they talk. Don't act like they act. Don't go where they go. Don't specialize in what they specialize in. Throw away the blame list they cling to. Start you a new life. You say, well, is it as simple as getting a library card and join the 3%? And the answer is, of course. Of course. That's how easy this stuff is. This is so easy. It's so simple. It's not complex. You don't need a 2,000-year-old guru. You don't need multi-track affirmations. I'm telling you, don't. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Don't let somebody sweep you into some contrary way to nature itself says, unless you labor the miracle of the seed and the soil and the seasons and God and all the other stuff that's available, sunshine and rain, that's not available to you by affirmation. It is only available to you by labor. So labor well, learn well, discipline yourself well, and you can have all the treasures you want. This stuff's easy and simple. It's not ocean waves and seagulls. You don't have to move to Sedona where all the force fields come together. Let's teach our kids the simple ways to transform their health, number 1, their economics, number 2, their ability to communicate, number 3, their life and treasure and lifestyle, number 4, spirituality, number 5, and the list goes on and on. Let's not leave out any of the least of disciplines that encourage us to do the next one, to do the next one, to do the next one. First thing you know, this whole scenario for you is spinning up instead of out of control on the negative side. This is all you got to do. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as a start, committing yourself to life change. And once you start down this road, I promise you, you'll join the 10% and the 3%. Guess how many people can retire from the income of their own personal resources when it comes time to retire? Answer, 5%. In the most independent country in the world, 95%. 5% are dependent, 5% are independent. Take charge of your own retirement. I'm telling you, if you take charge of your own retirement through personal development and all these skills we've taught today, take charge of your own retirement, you can multiply it at least by 5, maybe by 10, maybe by 20, maybe by 100. Let the government take care of it, some company take care of it, you got to divide by 5. Take charge of your own life, take charge of your own day, take charge of your own conversation, take charge of your own family, take charge of your own possibilities. And learn these skills, develop this kind of strategy, and I'm telling you, life will open up for you. Join the 3%, join the 10%, join the 5%, walk away from the 95%. In our leadership weekend we teach, find out what poor people read and don't read it. I'm telling you, don't talk like they talk. Lend a helping hand, but don't fall into their poor philosophical scenario. Don't blame what they blame. Don't use the excuses they use. It's called the language of the poor. Switch gears, switch language, switch ideas, switch strategy. Start with the simplest of disciplines. And don't be mean any of these disciplines. The smallest of disciplines starts the process of life change. And if you'll invest in this thing called discipline, you can have whatever you wish. It's called the beginning of a miracle.